overall, what is the purpose of your organization, and what are your programs?
Well, our mission is basically to use the marine environment to help people with disabilities and disadvantaged kids develop the skills to become as independent and as healthy as possible. The vision of our organization is to be the place where people come and be inspired, develop friendships, and launch their dreams. And the way we're making this all happen is this place that we are on the planet. We have this old Coast Guard seaplane base that we've worked with the city of Miami and restored it into what we believe one of the finest access points to Biscayne Bay.
Well, and I'll sort of give a little. This is the third floor of the building, and you can see the mass of a bunch of Melgus 20s and other boats here. There's a big Coast Guard hangar over there, and it really is a phenomenal spot. Look out here, and that's Biscayne Bay.
Yeah, and you see the islands offshore there. We've done those over, and those are our island beach out there.
And that's part of your organization as well?
Part of the organization.
Wow, wow. So, I mean, this is, what, 20 some odd years for you to be doing this?
Yeah. It was Everett Pearson in 1986 who said, I'll build a boat, you develop the program, and his insurance guy said, Everett, you can't go build a boat for people with disabilities, they're going to get hurt. And he said, well, they have as much right to get hurt as anyone else, let's just do it right. And it was that theme that really carried us through, and so...
Is that when you developed the Independence 20?
Independence 20.
And do you still use those here today?
We still use them here today.
Wow.
Yeah, they're our workhorse boat. We started up at Sail Newport and launched them when the tall ships were coming into town, so it was a pretty dramatic setting. And then it was Dr. Green who teamed up with Nick Bonacani to find a cure for paralysis. He reached out and asked if we'd come down here and create a center. And over the past 20 years, we've converted this old Coast Guard seaplane base into this 25,000 square feet of space, the marina, the boat launching area, and we've got people from all over the country and world joining us.
Well, we know that people hold Shake a Lake Miami out as really a model for disabled sailing, but I've also seen some other things going on. We saw a bunch of kids out on outrigger canoes. We saw kids on kayaks. What other programs do you have here, and how do you pick who gets to join them?
You're referring to is our academy program. So we've teamed up with Dade County Public Schools, and we have 100 kids on average come each day during school, and those are typically kids with physical, and walk through the water and see different sea creatures and just learn about being on the water environment. And so being outside of a four-room classroom and doing it live, it's embedded in them. They learn and they live it, and then it's all teamwork. You know, sailing,
Sure.
You get out there, it's all about who you're with and what are you doing and how do you do it best together. And so that happens during the day, and then every afternoon we have another 100+ kids come from the inner cities. So the school buses, and one funny story, it was one of the Etchell sailors who was down for the Jaguar Cup. I was watching him as he's rigging his boat and seeing these school buses come in and seeing these kids come off, and at the end of the weekend he came up to me and said, Harry, I just got to tell you, I've had such a positive experience seeing these kids come off this bus all enthusiastic, going out on the boats and having fun. So that's what we have. We have a place where kids are coming and being introduced, and then world-class sailors coming down here and getting out there and competing and having some fun.
It's amazing. Harry, you talk about these world-class sailors. I'm sitting there sort of helping Boar and Bear rig up a moth, and I could swear this guy looked familiar, and his accent sounded familiar, and I think it was Magnus Leodahl. What's up with that?
Well, it goes to show you that Shake Leg is, we like to say we launch boats and dreams, and we truly launch dreams. And Magnus is a guy that's reached the pinnacle of the sport, and he loved his journey the whole way up. And he believes strongly that, in life you give back. And his way of giving back is teaching people with disabilities to reach the pinnacle of the sport. And so he started Team Paradise. And Team Paradise is about training those athletes with disabilities that are looking to compete in the Paralympics. So we've formed an alliance with Magnus. We've got 5 sonars here. We have a couple scuds, half a dozen or so 2.4 meters.
Yeah.
And so now Magnus has set up a whole curriculum and program, and so
he wasn't teaching some advanced sailors, he was teaching people how to unroll a mainsail.
That's it.
That's amazing.
It starts with you know, being introduced to the water, and it's not like the talent pool is really big, and so together we're reaching out to anyone with a disability that's interested in improving themselves or interested in just feeling better about themselves. Come on down here and get involved. You can get out there sailing, you can get into Magnus' program and go compete at an international level. Or you can help some other kid or another person, or just come and have fun with your family and friends.
How involved is Shake a Leg Miami in the Paralympic classes, the OCR, that stuff?
Well, we're proud that this facility has the capability of, our capacity is huge. So right now we are home to the Paralympic 3 Paralympic classes during the Olympic class regatta. They'll all sail out of here.
How many people will be here sailing out of here? Got to be a crowd.
Well, the 2.4s, the scuds, and so it fluctuates, you know, depending on the season leading up to the Olympics. And of course it increases as we get closer to the Olympics. But
right.
We'll have 10 sonars, 10 scuds, 15 2.4 meters.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you, I got off the water, and this is the first time I'd ever been able to get my big ass up on a moth. And I came in and I felt like a little kid, and I mentioned that to one of your staffers. She said, what were you doing? I said, well, I went and sailed the moth. She said, wow, oh, they're so cool. You know, and I said, how was I? I said, I feel like a little kid. She said, well, that's how everyone leaves here.
Well, there is something magical about, they say Miami's the magic city. Well, that source of the magic is Biscayne Bay.
Yeah.
And I'm sure all of your sailors, all your readers must at one point in time put their foot in the water here. And
it's a hell of a lot hard. It's pretty hard to find a better place to sail right now.
Yeah, considering the weather that's blowing through the northeast.
15 to 17 knots and 84 degrees, and I mean, look at this place. It's paradise, you know. Wow. So, what about the moths? I mean, I don't know how they made a deal with you, but I know I asked these guys why they decided to train here, and obviously you have a world champ moth sailor right there, and his partner, you know, a Volvo veteran. What sort of made you decide to let those guys come here and play?
We don't discriminate.
All right.
Physical, mental, you know, race, class of boats. Again, we're about launching dreams. These guys have big ambitions, big dreams, and what better place to set up? We have the facility.
Yeah.
And really,
we can actually watch them right now, just sort of getting ready to go out again, I think.
Yeah.
Yep. There goes Bear. And they're going to go in a second. We'll watch that, but here, I'll flip around here. This is your, I think your 20th anniversary is coming up here. What's your plan for the next 20? Do you have a sort of a commemoration or anything, any kind of celebration or push to get more donors or what?
Yeah, we've actually come up with our campaign as 2020. You know, we're getting focused. We now have a facility and a compound, and that Coconut Grove is the place with Coral Reef and Biscayne Bay and the U.S. Olympic Sailing Center, Coconut Grove Sailing Club. We are the place, and we want to invite everyone to come on down and get involved with us. Our mission is staying focused on helping people with special needs become the best person they can be. And so getting positive thinkers, doers all together, having fun and challenging themselves, good things come out of it. So we want to be everyone's outpost. We want everyone to join, help us out. We're hurting financially like everyone else, but become a member of an organization and get by giving. And you come down here and help out a kid. Who knows? You might do a little faster around the race course.
And Harry, it's shakelegmiami.org. Is that right?
That's it.
All right, everyone, check it out. This is probably the best in the United States at what they do.